Good morning. Oh my gosh, I look. Good morning, everyone. I look like I'm still tired. Oh well, this is life. How many do I have? Like 2, 3 people in here? Good morning. I know it's early. What a horrible day yesterday, wasn't it? Hi, Liz. Hi, Pinky Lee. Good morning. Wild Heart. Quiltessa. Marilyn. Good morning. Okay. Everybody's starting to come in now. I did a live with Lena and Deanne Shields, and I posted it up. And even as I'm watching it back, and I'm trying to listen to what Spirit has to tell me, some people just had to comment. I do understand and see what's going on and understand the circumstances, and I sometimes want to bring and give you, positive news, and I wasn't trying to downplay what was going on. It's heartbreaking to have, within New York, to have the criminal case be so jeopardized because, we were relying on that. And that was one thing that I think dawned on me as I'm doing this video with Lena and all that, is that we put too much emphasis and too much reliance on this one thing. And I thought to myself, something's got to stick. There was somebody that was on YouTube's like, there's so many lawsuits against, something's got to stick. It's like throwing spaghetti up on the wall. One of them has got to stick. Thank you, everyone. Good morning. The Mueller report was already, we had Barr, blocking that. Do we always, does Trump really truly have somebody in his corner at every turn that blocks it? Does he really, I mean, we have, Putin invading Ukraine. At some point in time, I'm still young enough that all of these people, I get, if I get to stay on this earth, we all get to watch them pass away one by one. Because they're all older. That'd be nice. Sounds awful. But at some point in time, this has all got to go away, right? Well, it dawns on me that, Trump didn't get as corrupt all by himself. He had to have help to get so corrupt, so deep. What do you mean this crazy hatred has to stop? What do you mean, Sandy? I haven't finished watching that video with Cash Peters yet. I started this evening and then I got distracted and I haven't watched the complete of it. We are not the haters. We want peace. We want equality. We want inclusion. We want everybody to feel safe. We want women to not have to have 30 other women to collaborate the reason why they got attacked. You know, and we want a woman, when she says she got attacked, to be believed until proven otherwise. There should be no other way of doing it. But no, that's not how it is. We want our transgender, or our LBQ. I can never remember the acronyms. Anyways, our gay and community to be safe. We want them to love who they want to love. We want them to be who they want to be. We want them to be able to marry who you want to marry and have all the benefits of marriage, from medical to job equality, everything. We want all of that to be inclusive. There we go. LGBTQ. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's what we want. We don't want children starving. We don't want homeless people not able to come up and out of what they're doing. And we as a country have enough money and land to house every person on the face of in this country. Why aren't we doing that? We have it. It's available. I don't want, and I want criminals to be held accountable. And I want the innocent people out of jail. You know what I mean? This is what we want. This is what we're for. The right really wants us to sound like we hate Trump, and that's the reason why we do all we do. And that's not the truth. Trump represents the hate in this country. He represents the prejudice. He represents the worst of the humanity of this country. And we want that to go away. It doesn't soothe our soul when we say, well, Trump is going to get his, but it may not be what we think it's going to look like. I know that it doesn't comfort my soul either. I want him to be held accountable. I want them all to be held accountable. I mean, look at, like Texas. You know why Governor Abbott put forth this transgender hate act? Is because it covered up them charging extra for the electricity over the winter storms. Nobody's going to pay attention over here when we're charging extra for, double charging them for their electricity. If everybody's over here concentrating on my hate bill I just put out there, this is exactly how they do it. It's like every time something puts forth and everybody they just turn everybody's head like, look over here. That's what we should be reporting. That's what we should be looking at, instead of always focus on where they point our heads. This has been a tactic forever for politicians, to be honest. I'm sure even the left has, did the same thing, but the Republicans and the right do it best. I mean, they have honed in on these skills of deflection and getting our attention away from what's really happening. So What's really happening in Florida? Why would DeSantis put up this "Don't Say Gay" thing? Why? Because they're changing people's affiliation and their party to Republican, so he can say there's more people going to the Republican side. See, look. You see what I mean? It's all the deflection. They don't care if it gets, if it stays. They don't care. Just don't look at this over here. It's tough. It's tough for every person in this world right now. Everybody in the world right now is feeling the effects of what Putin is doing to Ukraine. And then we of course we have our Republican Party and our ex-president glorifying this and making Putin look good and great and wonderful. So we have potentially 74 million people thinking that Putin is the guy. Where did we go wrong? Where did we go wrong? Who does the DA report to? I'm sure somebody knows that answer. I can't think right now. But I can do readings. If there's anything that I can do in the worst of circumstances, is readings. Readings my cards. The connection. So if anybody watched the last video with Lena, I'm so sorry that it sounds like I don't know all the characters. I just couldn't put it together at that point in time because I was truly tapped into what Spirit was trying to get through to me. And sometimes I just miss it. So forgive me. If I was perfect, I wouldn't be here on earth. I know there was a lot of readers out there that I was listening to, and they were saying that Putin was not going to invade Ukraine and stuff like that. And I'm kind of curious as to the reason why that was. Good morning, Bo Smith. Good morning, Vanessa. Thank you. Quiltessa? Thank you, Susie. It's even tough. I have thick skin. I don't even know if it's called thick skin, but I have a healthy self-esteem. And I understand that some people say things out of fear or not understanding or just lack of compassion for somebody. But even it hits me wrong, like those times that I cannot perform at top notch for somebody, and it hits me where I as a child or even growing up, that if I disappointed somebody, therefore it equals them not liking me, or in this circumstances they're going to unsubscribe as a punishment for my lack of performance at that time. And I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, but even I fall I don't know, to that going, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be a human at that moment for you, you know? But then I come out of it and realize that even I am human. There's no superpowers here that keeps me from not acting human. I think it's a good lesson for everybody, you know what I mean? We don't have to apologize for being human anymore, I guess, is what you guys are trying to tell me, and I appreciate that message. Thank you. Thank you, Sandy. All right. Let's see if I can get a question or two. Is it just like when the Crook won the 2016 presidency? Thank you, Chase. So, I have my situationals. So, let's ask some questions about the situation of any situation that we have. I mean, I can do the New York situation and see if we can get to the point where it gets back on track or it doesn't. I don't know. Somebody says that they dropped it because they don't have enough evidence or they couldn't go forward with it. Is that true? I haven't seen it anywhere. Thank you, Finn, to say. Is that true that they dropped the criminal case because they think that they wouldn't be able to, they didn't have enough evidence? Is that what happened? Oh, thank you, Melissa. Thank you. Thank you for not noticing. I appreciate that too. It's not true? Okay. So they haven't dropped it. I thought that maybe that was, when I heard it, I'm like, oh, no, I don't think this is true. I think Briggs is being blackmailed too. I think that, you know, some people really truly can't handle death threats. If you threaten me, I could probably handle it, but if you threaten my children or my grandchildren, I don't know what position I would be put in, to do something different because I have to protect them. So you don't know what's being told. I mean, how many Trump supporters, they were going to kidnap, the governor of Michigan? How many death threats do the Democrats go through because of the demons that are on the other side that think that they can do that? So we have no idea what he's going through. What would you do if you got a death threat against you and your family? What would you do? I don't know that answer. I've never gotten a death threat. I am a grandmother you do not want to cross if you hurt my children or my grandchildren, though. I'm not the one. I have a kind side. But I am a Gemini. There is another twin here. It won't work out for you. I promise you that. But I don't know what it feels like to have a death threat. Or somebody blackmailing. Okay. Let me see if Trump knew this was coming. That's a good question. And then we'll look into see the situation of the blackmail. I'll have to watch Cash Peters. I haven't watched it yet, so I'm going in with no knowledge of Cash Peters' readings, which is good for me. Good morning, everyone. Ooh. Did Trump know? And the first card out was intervention. TikTok. The deadline was running out. Intervention. Dirty little secrets. Dirty little secrets. And the last one is threatened. Did Trump know? Yes, he was focused, waiting for that one moment, that his coming together and getting that and history. He knows the history of this person. Drama queen, which is Trump. Yeah, I think so. Here's the thing with people, and I read this a long time ago when we were studying men and women, but mostly men in high-powered places. They have a whole other side of sexual deviance that seems to come with them for some reason. Not all of them, don't get me wrong, but the ones that are willing to compromise their moral compass usually have that. So if anybody knows your sexual deviance, whatever that may be, either cheating or whatever, they can use it against you. So I had to start to post reading just over a week ago. I had been seeing Putin attacking, starting a war. I knew I had to start posting, even though it was hard to post for me. Yep, Trump helped. Yeah. I agree. I was never on the Putin was never going to attack side. I knew it was coming. It's I don't know how else to sometimes deal on this. Never. I agree. I'm like, he's going to. Okay, so yeah, I think he did know, and I think he knows something against Biggs. That's how he works. That's how the mob works. Get dirt on somebody, you have control. Get dirt on somebody, you have control. And dirty little secrets only gives power to somebody else. Remember that. Spirit woke us both up. Unreal. Yeah. I've actually been kind of awake. I live in mountain time, so I've been awake since 1:30. Chrissy from Footprint Tarot and I were trying to make a video, but her audio is a little off, so she's going to get a microphone and then I'll have her back on. She has this unbelievable, fascinating story about how she merges her scientific mind with her spiritual side and getting that to come together. It's fascinating, and I will have her back and we'll do a full-on interview about that. So Chrissy, if you're watching, hi honey. All right, we wanted to see if Biggs, I want to do a situational on Biggs. Just another one. I know I did one with Lena, but I want to do another one. I've been on since 3:30, so I've been on for 24 minutes. Teresa. Not Biggs, Briggs. The new DA or the new, yeah, not Biggs. Did I say Biggs? Sorry, Tiny Dancer. Okay. Yeah. Oh, no. Okay. So waves of emotions. He's upset about this whole situation as well. Realization, awareness, finding out, coming to light. The ascension, which is spiritual path and an awakening that happened inside. On the verge to confess. Like this talks about all the hard work, on the verge. There's something in there, because access granted to social media, access granted to secrets, and then threatened to come up again. Yeah, he has a secret. Somebody found it out. I think they found it out just recently. It hadn't surfaced prior to that, but they found it out just recently. And okay. Braggs. Yeah. So up front, Braggs, whatever his name is, the new guy, heading out the whole thing, probably says, "Oh, we got to pull back. There's nothing really here for us." Two district attorneys like, "Oh, we're out of here. You guys play too much we put too much work into this. We're tired of it. We're not going to be a part of this hoax or whatever they're doing." So they leave. And Braggs, whatever his name is, he has a threat against him. Blackmail, threat, whatever you want to call it. And he is feeling pressure to back off of this criminal investigation. Why? Because they really can put Trump in prison for this. They really do have the evidence, or else none of this would happen. So that's the behind the scenes and what's up front, what's kind of we talked about on my video with Lena and Deanne. So but I want to see if it comes back around. So I'm gonna go a little forward and see if we get over this hump and if they can salvage this. I got my situational cards off of Etsy. I get almost all of my cards off of Etsy. It's like a drug dealer to me. All right, I'm going forward, seeing if they get to get back on track, see what happens. Well, maybe. Well, that's interesting. Ay. Okay. So I just asked the question if this whole investigation can get back on track and it can start up again and go forward. And I got the twin flames. Now the twin flames is the one mirrored the soul. So twin flames meaning somebody else taking the reins, somebody else taking it on. It's going to be a roller coaster. They have to have ups and downs with it again. And then I got the archangel, like Spirit's involved in getting this taken care of, because then they're back to meetings. They're back to planning. They're back to meetings and planning of the investigation. So at some point in time, the twin flame, somebody taking over the ups and downs of it, but Spirit steps in and says, we're going forward with this. That's interesting. And they get plugged back in. The investigation gets plugged back in. Hi, Sharon Sipe. Hi, honey. I think you are my own. Oh, I have other moderators in here. My other troll slayers. Get them. Get them, girls. Get them. Ooh, could be drug use. Absolutely. Follow your heart. Yeah, it could be drug use. Definitely somebody found something on him. 100% agree. Alcohol, drug use, something. All right, what else do we got? What other questions do we have? Okay, read on Ukraine. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Rolanda Baker. Hi, sweetheart. Ukraine. Let's see if now that Putin's in there, we'll see if all the sanctions, we'll see if all of what the situation looks like. And then we'll go into what the future kind of, the energy, and if it flows this way, what's going to happen. So let's see what's going to happen with Ukraine. Okay, let's see what's going on. It says family, and it says long-term relationship. Current status, single, event. Projected future days and months, weeks and months. So now that we know he's going to be there for a little while, see what else happens. I'm trying to find out if the sanctions or anything like that really hurt Putin, or if all of the top secret or secrets that Trump shared with Putin helps him navigate that. Thank goodness this super secret information probably was held from Trump because he wasn't worthy of knowing it, or he didn't care. And he's not getting briefed now, like a president who normally would be briefed of all of the things. Biden cut him off from any secret briefings or anything like that. So he has no idea what's happening in our, in the presidency. So Trump is not being briefed, so he can't give out that information to anybody. Hi, Deanne. Is Deanne here? Hi, Linda Sandoval. Hi, sweetheart. Yes, she is. Hi, Deanne. I can't sleep, so. All right, let's see if what the sanctions are going to do to well, that's interesting. The feminine divine. The feminine divine power, it doesn't really have any words to describe this, but the feminine divine power, it's that control of your house, control over what you get, what you buy, how you make a home, how you create, all of that. So divine power is the sanctions themselves. Everybody around Putin right now is removing this, will go harder and harder and harder, and possibly isolate, Russia from receiving any outside influences to help him in his endeavors. Because it says coming together. So the divine feminine, the control, and all coming together. I did a reading a couple of days ago. Don't remember. It's been a while. I've slept since then. About this, that the outside entities are going to start squeezing in on Russia. This is exactly what it's talking about. Coming together. Everybody on the outside coming together. And Putin's going to denial. He's in denial. He's in denial that there's going to be any problems that he has in his country, and what's going to happen is he's in entrapment. So he has that entrapment. He's pulling on the heartstrings of everybody around him. He's pulling on the heartstrings of Ukraine, of any other country that just doesn't want him to do what he is doing. Everybody knows that what he's doing is incorrect. And he's in denial and facing the fact that everybody's telling him to stop. We don't want you to do that, and we're going to create problems in your country because of it. Huge denial. He doesn't care. He has a single purpose. He wants what he wants. He wants to do what he wants to do, and he doesn't care about anybody else. He has a goal, single purpose of what he is doing. There's some sort of memory that he is facing in his own mortality, that I guess a situation that he had gone through when he was younger or something like that, this is what is motivating him to do what he's needing to do in Ukraine. He can't stand the thought of him leaving this earth until something is back in order for him. Like Trump, make Russia good again. He's that, like, something has to come back to order for him. And access granted. He wants access to Ukraine. And he's the pressure cooker. So let's go in and see how all of a sudden how Biden is handling this. I get into Biden is in, like, his emotions are more like being in tears. Very upset about this. We go early in the morning, and you either go really early in the morning, you have trolls galore. You go late at night, you have trolls. So I do believe that these trolls are coming from Russia. I do. I felt this a long time ago. morning, Maggie May. Okay, Biden. See where he's at. So NATO has actually, I thought it was 27, but there's 29 other countries. Or 7 countries. I thought NATO was 7, the D7. Sorry. All right, Biden. See what's going on with you today. Present now. He is very, very in the moment and today. So he's not letting up. Lockdown. That's his goal, is to lock that down. Take care of it. Completion. Done. Done. Completion. I think Biden is willing to do, he's starting slow, but he's willing to go all the way to the end. He knows that he's creating history right now. He knows the importance of this information and creating the history of what's going on. And he also knows the history of Russia. He also knows the history of Ukraine. I mean, he's been in politics for a very, very long time. He is the man of the moment. He is the man to be there because he knows a lot more than most people do because of being a congressman and a senator. I think he was in Senate. Anyhow. And then, of course, being vice president. He knows the history. And he's now going to be a pressure cooker on Russia. He knows what to do. So he's there. He's right here, right there. So that's what it says. He's in the moment. And he's on lockdown. I have a feeling that he's at that White House. He's on lockdown. He's not moving. He's not going anywhere until he's right there. That's Biden. No, he's not stupid at all. And he's a Scorpion, so always remember his sign. He is Scorpion. He has all these great, wonderful qualities, but he's still a Scorpion at the end of the day. $30 members in NATO? Okay. I hear there's so many. Maybe it's 7 nations. Oh, I don't know. I'll probably look at all those details when I get off here to find out exactly the downright details of NATO. How is our vice president? Let's look in on Kamala Harris and see what her situation is. Thank goodness we have Biden in charge. Somebody that can handle these crises. Can you only imagine if 45 was in charge right now? He probably would have called up Putin and says, "Hey, you know, we have a border you can come and invade. Come on. That's what he wants him to do already. He's brilliant. We could do that on these borders. Yeah, 45 would be golfing. I 100% agree. All right, so let's see where Kamala Harris is. You know how long it took me to say her name right? Kamala. Okay, let's see. she's taking risks. I have the nightlife, taking risks. Thirsty. I mean, drama queen. So she's working. She's synchronicity. She's helping putting the pieces of the puzzles together. She's definitely. She has some secrets and some anchors, grips. She has some skills of her own on what to do. She's trying to head out the gossip. She's trying to smash the BS that comes out of all of that. And she's in many a meeting. She's back there. Future days and months. She's in it for the long haul. She's back there doing her job. For the love of this country. She's back there doing it for the love of her job. She's back there. So she's the one back there putting together meetings, putting together this. Yep. She's definitely back there. Hi, Sheila. It is crazy times. I just can't wrap my head around it. Yeah, well, everybody's... Oh, thank you, Em. Everybody's focused in on that. What's going on at home? I mean, I wonder if the Republicans realized that they had to be a fan of Putin. I mean, did they know? Did they know that they had to be a fan of dictatorship? Did they know that? Did they know that they had to be prejudiced? Did they know that they had to now go to church? And did they know that they had to go to the church of what the Republicans think they should go to? Did they know this? Did they know that they had to, follow, believe, and support a liar, a cheater, and a thief? Did they know this? Before going into being a Republican? I mean, did they know this? Did they know how much of their moral compass had to be compromised in order to be a Republican? Did they know this? I would love these answers to be answered. Did they know how far down the scale of a human being you had to become in order to get on board with the Republican Party? Did they know? Or are they just, can they lower their morals fast enough to keep up with the Republican Party? Did they know? Are we just learning that what who these people really are, or are they just blindly, just mindlessly, Republican, and that's what I gotta do? Are they doing? If my Democratic Party was acting like the Republican Party, I would have switched a long time ago. You see, I'm going to always be on the side of compassion, love, compromise, inclusion, helping. I don't care what the party name is. I'm always going to be on that side of the human being, the human race. That's how you pick. Who's being kind? Who's trying to help? Who's trying to not terrorize a child? I know I'm just preaching to the choir. I know I am. Are the trolls getting too much? Is there somebody I need to delete? Or are you guys getting it? You can delete them if you want. Get rid of them. It's because we're awake at the same time Russia's awake right now. That's the reason why all these stupid trolls are coming in. Boy, you guys are earning your keep today, aren't you? Good morning, Gigi. Crazy. Okay. Is there another question coming in? Yeah, I will always be on the side where we have science and medical training, education, and forethought that's going to also impact my decision about how to keep myself safe and my family safe. I will always be on that side. I will not disregard somebody's years and years of education to get where they are, to get a reputation of being an honest, good scientist and knowing their stuff, be wiped out because of a president who can't even finish a sentence. Tell me that that person's wrong. Just too much. Too much. Is Lena in here? Lena's in here. Hi, Lena. Hi. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just sitting here. I couldn't sleep. It's disturbing. Thank you for joining me in the video that I just posted up, and also you taught me, about really what's going on, and I've been thinking about your words about Cy Vance, if he was corrupt or not. And I'm beginning to think that maybe he was attached to Giuliani or the compromises through the connection with Giuliani. It makes so much more sense. I can feel that information being the right direction. Makes so much sense. Cy Vance was a villain a long time ago, huh? I'm going to read on Cy Vance right here, right now. See what's going on. The situationals. Okay, let's see what's going on. Yeah, he had a long-term relationship. I got the nightlife again, gamble, take a risk. He was in that investigation, taking a risk to do it. And I got rescue, others involved, intervention. He had to intervene. He had to intervene because he has a long-term relationship either with Trump or Giuliani or the Republican Party. He has a long-term relationship with the people who he's investigating. And they retaliated, punished. They punished him. They punished him. severely. They punished him. I wonder where they punished him, but they punished him for doing what he was doing. That's the reason why he left early. They punished him, and you're right. Mhm. And then he puts, good God, do we have anybody out there that cannot be compromised? Anybody, any man out there that cannot be compromised? That's a DA, yeah, they punished him somehow for doing what he did, bringing forth that. Whew. Sorry. Yeah, Glenn Kushner. He would be a great DA for the Manhattan, but you see, would they hire him because he's clean? Probably not. You know, we only hire people we can manipulate. Or a woman, yeah. It's just tough, man. It's tough stuff. Anything else? You know, at this point in time, do I have anything clever to say? I don't know. Do I have any encouragement? Take a deep breath. My nose is all red. I mean, I was laying in bed at like at 1:30 in the morning, and you know, just tears are just falling from my face because, thank you, Sterling Rose, because of all of the stuff that's going on, and I want, you know, to bring a breath of hope or at least relaxation to keep everybody, because the more anger or fear energy we give out into the world, that's pretty much helping the other side. So it's the bringing us back down to center and calming us and sending out love and light that blocks them. That blocks them. So I guess it's our own internal light worker work that's being put to challenge here, right now. Thank you, Sterling. Is there another question that I can do my situationals with that you guys would like to know? We're about at an hour. Yeah. Just know that your energy is incredibly important. I used to think not. I used to think that, you know, nobody's paying attention to me. Nobody cares how I feel or how I'm thinking, until I realized how important it really was to the collective. You know, are you putting poison out into the world, or were you putting love and light out into the world? It makes a huge difference of what you're contributing, and you can do this from the, the inside of your home. And it helps with that feeling of helplessness too. My computer is getting tapped into now. The heck is going on? Okay. It helps with that helplessness also. Because we all have that, what can we do? And from the comforts of your own home, radiate love and light and send that over to Ukraine or whoever, to Texas, to whoever. These trans children in Texas are now, even if it doesn't go through, they are now a target. And so are these parents who has trans children who are just trying to do the right thing for their children. Right? They're listening to their heart, not their bodies. They're listening to these children's hearts, and they're trying to make sure that that heart is protected and that their body is going to coincide with what their heart says. That's what these loving parents are doing for their children. And then Texas thinks that they, just because they are in a religious belief system, that these parents are not allowed to take care of their children the way they think they should be able to take care of their children. Oh, I could preach on about that. I just no. Now these children are targets. Because why? Because somebody of authority says that it's okay to do that to a child and to the parents of these children. I mean, educate yourself about transgender, and then you'll understand. That's what I want to tell them so bad. I'm like, educate yourself. This is not a religious Bible solution here. This is a medical solution. Oh, Linda. We all do. We all do. We all want to protect the weak. We want to protect the vulnerable. And that's what we should be doing. I mean, how arrogant of you as a person of religion to think that there's only two genders. How arrogant of you to think that our bodies, as complex as they are, as diverse as they are, thinking there's only one gender out there, just because a physical presentation does not equate to a mental or an emotional gender. And it's like you guys are the ones that placed the parentheses around gender so that we all had to not explore what our bodies and what our minds can do. Can you imagine if those parentheses of the restrictions from a religious belief system was removed, and how important and how wonderful our species really could be with all genders, all adaptations? We could be a society of an incredible diversity. I know I was taught back in, this is actually the Lakota teachings that I was taught through Native American about gay and LGBTQ, the gays, right? They taught me a while back that they are reared as spiritual teachers. The ones that have the gender diversity. They're here for a spiritual, because they can see on both sides of the veil. They are our spiritual teachers, not somebody that we should, restrict It's so incredibly important to have a different, thank you, LGBTQ plus. Thank you, Advantage. I don't know why I can't remember that. Why is that so impossible for me? I'll work on that. LGBTQ community plus communities. The Native Americans accepted transgender men and gay women, and yeah, they treated them as spiritual leaders and advisors. They saw their importance. They saw the diversity. They saw the God presence, or the Lakashla, or presence in them. And somehow, some way, a Bible or a religious person come around, put parentheses on there. For what reason? Why? Because we needed more white babies. That community's not going to have babies. We need white babies. We need only men and women over here. That's what you get at 4:30 in the morning, is Sheila and her preaching. Her thoughts. Here's another thought too, and I've been listening a little, and I can't think of her name, but there's a thought too. Why all of a sudden the white men are freaking out, the white prejudiced, supremacy. They're freaking out because they're becoming the minority. Why? Why would you freak out? Is the minority treated differently? Is this a worry of yours? Possibly. You know what it's like to be in the minority, because that's what you have been doing, is treating the minority as less than. So when you get there, what's going to happen to you? That's why they keep on, like, the prejudice. See, now Trump is like, they're doing this because they're prejudiced against white people. What? What's the matter? You all of a sudden are going to get, he's trying to claim victimhood now? I just can't take it. Just can't take it. Good morning, Gita. I mean, there's places just like the Mount Rushmore. I absolutely refuse to support that, ever go visit it. I talk everybody out of it. If you look into the history of Mount Rushmore, you know why they stole that land back from the Native Americans that they gave it to? Because dude found gold on it. And then he allowed them to torture and kill anybody so that they can keep that land because it had gold on it. Oh, just go look at the history of that. Absolutely. I refuse to participate, contribute. If I was in that area, I would be picketing with the story of it every single day. If you're in that area, go picket in front of them and let the people who are driving in to go and look at that and support that. They need to know the real story behind that, and what they're looking at, what they're really looking at. Mount Rushmore is one of the horrible tragedies of this country as well. And of course, 45 wants his face to be up there with the most prejudiced and the biggest, Of course he does. I agree. There's more stories and more stories and more stories about land and being taken care of. I mean, there's just so many horrible, horrible stories. I agree, Rolanda. I agree. How do we fix this karma? We don't allow these white supremacy and hate groups to become dominant ever again. We have to get out and vote while we can. If we get this wrong, there's nothing we can do if we get this wrong. If we don't get out and vote and get rid of these Republican and these prejudice and this white supremacy ideal and the like the Greg Abbotts and the DeSantises, if we don't get this right, I don't know what to do if we don't get this right. I have a platform and I use it as much as I can. I'm on TikTok too. I don't get paid from TikTok, but I have a platform that I get this information out as much as I possibly can. If you want to follow me on TikTok, it's called I'm under the Democratic Chick. That's my handle, is the Democrat Chick or Democratic Chick. And I don't get paid for you there, but I do as much as I can. Just remember that I cuss on that one. So if you don't care for cussing, just FYI. Anyways, thank you, Sterling. So, everybody that's, like subscribed to me from all over the world, but I have lots and lots of people from the United States that each one of your voices, each one of you have a platform in your own neighborhood. There's your platform, support, get everybody that you know of registered to vote, let them know who the candidates are, vet them yourself, make sure that you are, picking the right one. And look at Youngkin. They have buyer remorse over there with Youngkin, but we told them, and they didn't listen with Youngkin. So, crazy. Wow, these trolls are solid today. All right, everyone. You guys are just masters at this troll slaying today. You guys really have earned your keep. My goodness. They just can't stand listening to the truth. They can't stand listening to the other side. And what they really, 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 really can't stand is people that are waking up and finding out who and what they are. They can't stand that the most. They need the sheep. They need them to be focused only on what they say so that they can get what they need done. They don't want anybody to come against them like we are. So, yeah. All right, everyone. I think the trolls are abundant. Thank you, everybody who took care of them trolls. You guys are rock stars. They are. They just want to cause trouble and disrupt you. See, it's like that paying attention in the chat, instead of listening to the truth. The more I speak truth, the more trolls come through. I've known that. And that's with most readers, they start hitting what's going on. So, alrighty, everybody. I'm going to go and see if I can go lay down at least. Well, I may not be able to rest. I think I'm just going to get more coffee. Maybe I'll rest before I go to work this evening. I wish everyone happiness. I wish everyone comfort. I send love. Hang in there. Do what we can to combat this. And most of all, stay in the fight. I think our country is worth taking back and going forward and start healing all of these things that has happened in this country. I think we could heal it going forward. It may take 100 years, but at least we'd be on the right track of healing. So, thanks everyone for being here. I hope you get some rest. Bye, everyone.